happens when simplicity meets AI and on the world's biggest tech stage? Well, at GITEX Global in Dubai, I shared the AI stage with today's guest. He's the Senior Vice President and General Manager at DigitalOcean. And we came together to explore just that on a quick podcast episode while we were at the event. So, for years, DigitalOcean has built its reputation as the cloud that speaks the language of its builders, offering accessible and affordable infrastructure to startups and developers around the world. But now they're bringing that exact same philosophy to the world of artificial intelligence with their Gradient AI platform and Cloudways Copilot. From the outside looking in, they're two tools designed to make agentic AI development easier, faster, and far less intimidating. So in a space dominated by complexity and fragmentation, my guest message in several conversations I've had with him over the last few days really stood out. Because he describes how DigitalOcean is helping developers go from idea to production-ready AI agents without needing a huge DevOps team or endless integrations. So, from agent templates and debugging tools to guardrails and monitoring, I wanted to learn more about how this platform is giving builders everything that they need in one unified stack. And for me, it's one of those grounded innovations that turns all this lofty AI talk and hype into something much more tangible. So today, we'll revisit our conversation from the AI stage floor and also unpack how DigitalOcean is reimagining accessibility and a new era of AI agents. And also, of course, we will talk about what gradient AI is, what it means for startups, and also that troubling stat of why 95% of AI projects are not making it past the prototype stage. So, can simplicity really be the key to unlocking the next wave of intelligent applications? Let me beam your ears all the way to the show floor here at GITEX Global in Dubai, and we'll find out much more. So here we are at GITEX Global. Can you tell everyone listening a little about who you are and what you do?
Of course. My name is Sohaib Zaheer. I'm a Senior Vice President and General Manager with DigitalOcean, and we are one of the world's largest managed cloud hosting companies in the world.
And over the years, DigitalOcean has always positioned itself around simplicity and accessibility. So how does that original vision, how does that influence the way you're approaching AI today? It's different and the same, I would imagine.
It's the same guiding light, the same guiding principle. I think if you talk to developers or builders today, they'll tell you that building an AI is actually pretty hard. For all the simplicity it's supposed to create, getting started, understanding how to use it, understanding all the fragmented tools, understanding how you actually get something from a concept to a production-ready, agent. All these things are very complex to do. So that same guiding principle of being simple, being affordable, being accessible, that's guiding us on our AI strategy just as it has on our cloud strategy initially.
And that's somewhat of a cruel irony, isn't it? Because agentic AI and agentic twins, they're supposed to be simple. That's the whole idea. But many organizations are finding that it's not that simple.
That's right. And really, it's twofold, right? One is that the ecosystem is very fragmented. So on average, developers are using 10 plus tools just to build one agent, right? So that's a pretty challenging thing for developers to do. And the second thing is that it's so many people want to build agents, but they don't feel they have the relevant experience to build agents. So they're looking for a place that can create a little bit of simplicity, help you get started, help you build something, and then take it from ideation to production. And to do so, there's a lot of steps, and sometimes you need some hand-holding, and that's the other thing that makes DigitalOcean so wonderful, is the 24/7 support. So no matter where you are in your journey, we can assist you, right? When you get stuck, we can help you jump over that next hurdle.
And you've described Do.Next as a cloud that speaks the language of builders, which is refreshing to hear. So what does that mean in practice for a developer or even a startup that's using your platform today?
Yeah, well, where we see the whole sort of industry gravitating towards is the cloud. When we say speaking the language of builders, there's going to come a point in time where builders are going to start using natural language to engage with the cloud. So instead of having to sit there and manually spin up a server, manually configure settings, manually do anything, they'll be able to come into a conversational UI and just say, I need XYZ, and agents will do it all for them. That's going to happen. It's already happening. And we've recently launched something called the Gradient AI platform. And that essentially is making it incrementally easier for builders to come in, to build and to deploy their agents. And we give them all the tools necessary in one unified stack.
And I've spoken to many developers over the last 6 months, and many have said that building with AI agents often feels fragmented and unpredictable. I'm curious, from your vantage point here, I mean, you've built a solution, but why do you think that gap exists, and how are you addressing it with your solution?
Yeah, well, I think one of the beautiful things about DigitalOcean and our customer base is we almost co-create products with our users. So they'll come to us and they'll tell us, and we talk to developers and builders every day, and they'll tell us, I'm stuck here, or these are my biggest pain points. And for us, it's the biggest gift that you could have is feedback, right? So we're able to sit there, work with our own customers, understand what's going on in the market, and say, okay, two big problems that we see with AI, right? It's complex. And one of the things that we're most known for is taking complex things and making them very simple. And the second thing is very fragmented. So the beauty of Gradient AI is that you're taking something that's been a very fragmented ecosystem and a very fragmented experience, and now you're giving developers one unified stack where they can come in, we can help them build, we can help them test and debug, and then ultimately give them the right monitoring to ensure they have the right mechanisms in place so that they can put guardrails around what their agent is actually doing. Instead of using 10 or 15 different platforms or tools, you can do it all in one place. And that's something that developers are telling us has been a massive, massive win for them.
And just to bring that to life a little, can you walk me through the Gradient AI life cycle? How does it simplify the process from, I don't know, let's say experimentation to deployment, especially for any builders listening that might not be AI expert?
You know, one of the things, there's a stat that MIT just released in one of their research studies that shows that 95% of agents never make it to production. They never see the light of day. So that can be extremely frustrating if you're a developer or a builder, where you're told and you're mandated that, hey, we need to go build agents, and you feel like you just can't get one out the door. It can be very frustrating when you're spending more time debugging than you are deploying, right? The beauty of Gradient AI is when you start, we do things like give you agent templates. So we're giving you a starting point, right, where you can get in there and you can quickly build something. The next layer, the testing and debugging, there's all sorts of tools inside of the platform, agent traceability, that allows you to go in there and figure out what's going wrong, right? Is something going wrong? Do some thorough testing, debugging. Then that third piece is when you deploy, do you have the right guardrails? Do you have the right monitoring? Because in AI, trust is everything, right? And if you don't have the right monitoring in place or the right guardrails in place, then unfortunately, sometimes AI is not going to give you the right answer. And you want to make sure that you are monitoring the behavior and you're sort of optimizing and continually iterating. And that's the beauty of the platform. You can do it all in one place.
You make a great point there, because I think many businesses at the moment are struggling to get projects out of pilot into production. Then once it's in production, it's not a once and done. It's not a destination. That last mile is often forgotten about, isn't it? The guardrails and the monitoring, etc.
That's true. And the fact that you have to continually iterate. Yeah. Continually iterate, continually test, continually debug. And that's why having it all in one place, it's a lifesaver for developers, right? It's been one of the biggest game changers that we've deployed.
And also, Cloudways Copilot is one of your most visible steps into the AI first vision that we're talking about here at GITEX Global. So what role do you see this Copilot playing for your customers, and how does it connect to Gradient AI that we're talking about?
So Copilot is a game changer for Cloudways agency customers. So what it does in essence, it acts as a site reliability engineer. So it's automatically detecting issues, it's debugging those issues, it's giving you recommendations on how to fix those issues, and then giving you an option where you can press a button and the issues will automatically fix themselves right through the agents. All of this is being powered through the Gradient AI platform. So why we have so much confidence that this is a game changer for the industry, a game changer for our customer base, we're using it in real life. We are deploying agents throughout our ecosystem. We're deploying agents that are helping us create a step change in user experience. And we're doing all of that through the Gradient AI platform. So in a sense, we're eating our own dog food. We're making sure that we're using the product. We're putting the product, testing it at scale. It's in production environments. I mean, it's just been a transformational product that we've released. And we've already got thousands of agents running on it within the last few months.
And of course, AI is incredibly cool. It's all everybody's talking about here. But if we were to take a look under the hood, infrastructure still matters, especially in this shift to AI and greater intelligence. So how are you at DigitalOcean optimizing things like GPUs, storage and networking to support these AI-driven workloads without adding complexity?
This is one of the things where we shine, I would say, right? It's taking these very complex things and either doing partnerships, doing our own development, and making sure that user experience is streamlined and simple. And I would tell you, what we see customers asking us for is not just raw horsepower. You can buy GPUs from anywhere, right? What they're asking for is, what's the value you're sticking on top of the infrastructure that will allow me to use it in a much simpler, quicker time frame? And what that does is it really opens up access. Like, one of our missions is to ensure that we open up access for people around the globe, where we don't believe you should have to have a team of 20 DevOps engineers or a massive IT team to just deploy an application to the cloud. And that's the same concept when it comes to AI, is we want to make sure, and this is the beauty of gradient AI, and it's the beauty of the platform. Everything you need to do, start to finish, I would look at it as a one-stop shop for that entire agent development lifecycle. And we're seeing so many startups now that have AI-focused workloads where they get the power of the hyperscalers with the simplicity of DigitalOcean. And that recipe right there is something that we excel at and why we've been so popular with our customers.
And we were talking about a lot of this on stage together, the AI stage a few days ago. We're now talking at your booth, which is very close to the AI stage. Great real estate that you've got yourself here. I'm curious, from everyone that's coming to the booth and asking questions, any kind of trends that they're asking you at the moment, the kind of questions that people are coming and asking you?
So there was because the entire discussion was focused on the gradient AI platform, there's a lot of interest around why did you build it? And why didn't we know about it sooner? And a lot of folks are confirming that they're either A, hearing from their companies that they need to figure out how to go out and build agents, B, how to use agents. And this whole theme about agents transforming the cloud, it's everywhere now. And we're getting so much confirmation on our booth around, hey, this is something I need to get into. I don't know where to start. How do I get going? And so this is what we were saying on stage, right? You don't have to know it all in order to take that first jump. And that's the simple reason why platforms like DigitalOcean exist. You can come on board. You've got 24/7 support by your side. What I recommend to people day in and day out is just get started. Because the faster you get started, the faster you can pick one workflow to automate. Tinker around with it, learn, deploy, test, iterate, and go from there. Speed and execution is everything, right? In this market, nobody's waiting. And so that's why we've been encouraging folks that don't feel intimidated by it. You've got a company like DigitalOcean who's there by your side. Just start, and we'll help you along the way.
And if we were today to look beyond GITEX Global, maybe into 2026 and beyond, how do you see gradient AI and DigitalOcean shaping that broader developer community, especially startups, SaaS builders, and those kind of people that don't have hyperscaler resources? How do you help them?
I think that's the gradient AI is going to be transformational. And why we're saying that, we've already seen thousands of agents being built since the inception of the platform, which just launched, right? We know this is where the future is going. The future of cloud is going to be led through agents. And the faster that we can help open up access for entrepreneurs and builders and developers across the globe, the faster we can show them how fast they can go from idea to full production agent, the more good we're going to do in the world, right? Because we know this is going to be transformational for companies both big and small. So I think for us, whether you're wherever you are in your journey, whether you're in the infancy stage, you're just launched your company, or you've got a mid-market or enterprise level company, you can come here and do something that typically takes people weeks and months with a matter of hours. And that's the power of DigitalOcean, right?
So for anybody listening wants to just dig a little bit deeper on anything we talked about, especially around gradient AI, where should they go?
Definitely go to DigitalOcean.com and get started. There's plenty of resources online. I think the other thing that made DigitalOcean famous in the past is our developer community is absolutely amazing. Any information you need, whether it's through KB, whether it's through the developer community, whether it's through our own support team, you'll find access to that information you need. And that's one of the biggest benefits of DigitalOcean that we offer.
Well, you've had an incredibly busy week on stage, now in your booth. I just appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk to me today.
Thanks, Neil. It's always a pleasure.
Listening to my guest today, who is one of the nicest guys I've met in my life, a true gentleman in every sense, and listening to him in the many conversations we've had this week, I think it's clear that DigitalOcean hasn't lost touch with its roots. The company that once simplified the cloud for developers is now doing the exact same thing for AI. And their approach strips away some of the noise, giving builders one place, a place to design, deploy and manage agents with the same kind of clarity that made their cloud offering so popular. But I think what I found refreshing more than anything was their sense of realism. This wasn't hype about AI changing everything overnight. It's about helping real people build, test and iterate faster. So whether you're a startup founder, a solo developer, or just part of an enterprise team, I think the message from our conversation today carries a quiet confidence that the best innovations don't always come from scale, but from focus. So as the AI lights dim here at GITEX, I'm left wondering, in a world chasing ever bigger models and ever faster chips, could simplicity still be the most powerful form of progress? Let me know your thoughts. techtalksnetwork.com. Send me an audio message. techblogwriter@outlook.com. Neil C. Hughes over at LinkedIn, X and Instagram. But that's it for today. So thank you as always for joining me here on the show floor. And I'll be back again tomorrow with another guest. Bye for now.